Welcome to your daily dose of hope. I'm Phyllis Nichols, and I'm glad you're here. I say that all the time, but I really, truly am glad you're here. I just passed this last week 200 episodes of this little fun project that I started back in January. It's a lot of words, it's a lot of thinking and recording. When I started this, I really wasn't sure how long I would keep it going. I didn't know if people would want this kind of content. I didn't know if people would find it helpful. The world can feel pretty cynical, and I think hope gets dismissed as being fluffy or naive. And I wasn't sure if people would feel that way or, what they would feel. Honestly, I kind of created it in the beginning for myself. I needed to be feeling more hopeful. I wanted to be in a more hopeful space. And it helped me do that. And I hope this helped you too. But I have learned a couple of things. So I wanted to share that with you today. And again, with my gratitude and thanks. If you've been here the whole time, or even if you've just recently kind of found this and you're listening, I really appreciate it. The show has grown more than I really ever thought it would. And you are the reason why. One thing that I've learned is that people are definitely more open to hope than I thought they would be. I really didn't know what to expect, but cynicism is not the default. It's can feel louder sometimes, but I'm finding that lots of us want to believe that things can get better and that kindness still matters and that our efforts matter too. Like our small efforts do add up. And I'm also learning that hope resonates quietly but deeply. I have people who reach out mostly privately, right? To let me know like an episode really spoke to them, or they listened to an episode on a particular day that they really needed it, or it really helped them get through something, which is wonderful and lovely. And I'm so grateful for the feedback. But it also tells me that there's just a real desire for positive, thoughtful content. We're all looking for things like that sometimes. And I'm glad this show maybe is part of that for some other people. It's certainly helping me. And lastly, I learned a little bit about myself, actually, which is that consistency beats perfection. And I learned that I can do things, I can stick with them, and I can let them be easy. When I started this, I intentionally didn't want it to be overproduced. I intentionally didn't want it to have to require a ton of editing. That's why they're super short. I knew that I could do this, but I had to keep it really simple. And part of me loves to complicate things and be like, I could add music and I could do this and I could do that, but then it doesn't get done, right? It's a perfect plan, but it's never executed. So this little experiment has taught me that when I let things be easy, I can execute and I can follow through and I see the results, even though things aren't perfect by any means. So thank you for being here. Again, I'm grateful that this little show has found an audience and an audience that's growing. Hope isn't just a theme or a fun thing to kind of throw around. It truly is a practice. It's a way of seeing the world, and doing this keeps me grounded and curious and connected. So I hope that you found some value and enjoyment and maybe a few smiles along the way. And here's to 200 more reminders. I'm not sure how long I'll keep this going, but as long as it feels good and as long as it stays easy, I'm going to be here. And I hope that you're going to be here to join me. I really appreciate you. And let's do it together. This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.